Hey everyone, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today is Saturday, November 23rd, and today I just want to go over 5 real quick, easy fixes you guys can implement in your eBay stores to help increase your sales. So number 1 is your pictures. You want to make sure, if at all possible, you want to make sure you have the white background that eBay recommends. If you don't like the white background and you're absolutely set against it and you want to use like the furry cloth or the wooden backgrounds or some of those more artsy ones you see on Poshmark, that's fine. I personally recommend the white. If you don't like the white, you can use something else, but I would absolutely have a background. Not having a background just creates photos that look unprofessional, undesirable. When you have your items on a background posed, they look professional and they look more desirable to buyers. I would stay away from sheets. I see a lot of photos with sheets in the background and they're all wrinkled. That's not a good look either. You can use paper, you can use vinyl. There's lots of alternatives out there that won't look like a wrinkled bed sheet in your photo of an item that you're trying to sell. And then the lighting is a big thing. A lot of photos that I see all the time are dark. They look gray, like the white background will look gray, or they're too dark, or there's shadows, or you can't really see the item. So you want to make sure that if you invest in anything for your business other than a scale and a printer, obviously, because you need labels. And if you buy labels from the post office, they're too expensive. So like scale and printer aside, which are really important, I would say lighting is important enough that should be something that you definitely invest in for your business. Having good lighting can make all the difference in the world with your photos, and just make them look more desirable. Personally, if I were shopping and something was on a wrinkled sheet and it was dark, I wouldn't want it. It looks gross. I'm not trying to offend anyone who's using a sheet and doesn't have lighting, but just think about a pair of jeans thrown on a grayish looking wrinkled sheet. It looks like somebody's dirty bed sheet with some clothes on it, and that's not something I want to buy. Versus something on a really good background with great lighting, whether it's a white background or a wooden one, it's still, you can tell it's a photography background and there's great lights. It just makes the item look more desirable. So I would pay attention to your backgrounds and your lighting for your photos, and also pay attention to how close up you're getting. You want to be in square mode, number 1. Square mode's the best mode to use, especially if you're going to cross post to other platforms like Poshmark. They require square photos. So you should be in square mode, but make sure you're up close. There's nothing worse than like a pair of jeans 50 yards away. You know what I mean? You want to get really good close-up shots of your items. The number 2 thing you can work on is your pricing. That goes both ways. There's a lot of folks who really price way too high, and they're not running sales often enough, or they don't have best offer on to justify that. You can absolutely have super high prices if you're going to be running sales around the clock, or if you have best offers on. But I wouldn't price super duper high if you're not going to do that. And then the other side of that coin is a lot of people are pricing way too low. There is a debate between the fast nickel and the slow dime. I personally would prefer to sit on something and get more money. Some people want it to move quicker. But there's also a difference between a fast nickel and just racing to the bottom and being a turd and trashing the market on a particular brand or type of item. If everyone is selling something for $19.99 and you want to put yours up for $17.99 or $18.50, you want to just go a little bit below so that yours moves faster, that's a fast nickel. Pricing it at $12 or $10 when everyone else is selling it for $20, that's racing to the bottom. I don't encourage the the fast nickel. I don't encourage the fast nickel at all, because I think it leads to that race to the bottom eventually. There's no way around it. In the example I just used, if everyone's selling something for $19.99, you come in, you want your fast nickel, so you go $18.99. The next fast nickel person's going to go $17.99, then $16.99, and so it'll keep going until the bottom is just gone on that particular brand or item, and it's just completely trashed and it's now worth $8. That's one of the big reasons I don't encourage the fast nickel. You guys know I don't like it. You guys know I like to price high. I like my slow dime. But that's, one of the biggest reasons I guess I've never really gone into on the channel with you guys. One of the big reasons I don't like that fast nickel is because everyone that comes in that wants that fast nickel is going to undercut the next guy or the guy before him, and the next guy will undercut him until you just have that race to the bottom. Whereas if everybody would just price it what it's worth, we wouldn't have things like Robert Graham shirts and Lucky Brand jeans that used to be worth a lot of money that now just really aren't worth the same amount of money anymore. Anyway, that's a soapbox I don't need to get on today. So just pay attention to your prices. Make sure that you're pricing items at what they're worth. Make sure you're putting value in your item, value in yourself and your time. It is not worth it for you to go out and source and wash and steam and photograph and measure and list items for pennies. It's just not. Regardless of what your cost of goods is, it's not, your time is more valuable than just slapping a haphazard low-end price on something. So make sure that you're putting value in yourself, your time. You want to pay yourself what you're worth, and put some value in your items. Yes, items with lower prices and that fast nickel will sell faster typically, but not always. Sometimes buyers will look at something that's priced lower and think something's wrong with it, and they'll go buy the more expensive one anyway. And then if you are somebody that prices on the high side, just keep in mind that you should be running sales and putting best offer on items that are priced high. Number 3, check your return policies, guys. Here's the thing. There's no such thing as not accepting returns on eBay. Period. You may think there is. You may think you can put your policy is that you don't accept returns. And that's cute that you think that, but that's not true. Buyers will open item not as described against you, and then you'll start getting dings, and it could hurt the metrics on your store. It can hurt your top rated seller status. Getting too many dings, getting too many item not as described can seriously have detrimental effects on you as a seller and your store. You want to keep those to a minimum, and unfortunately buyers are going to use those regardless of what you do. You could have returns on, and say you do 30-day buyer pays return, you're going to have the turds who open up buyer's remorse cases for fit or color or size or whatever as item not as described, and you're going to have to take it back. But you can, allegedly, this started in October, they mentioned it at eBay Open, you can, and we've done it, you can report the buyer and they will remove the defects if you can prove that an item not as described was opened falsely. So if they blatantly type item not as described doesn't fit or something like that, you can report them and get it removed. You can also refund partial amounts now. So just real quick, an example, we had a pair of jeans new with tags that were returned for fit. Buyer paid the return because that's what we had on the jeans was buyer paid return. So she paid the return. She didn't try to sneak around the system and do item not as described. But when I got the jeans back and took them out of the package, she had ripped the tags off to try it on. And then she had just kind of like tucked the tags in with the jeans to send them back. So I refunded her half. They were $30 jeans. She got $15 back. And for the reason I said she ripped the tags off, I can no longer sell the item new. And it devalued it by at least half if I have to sell them as used now. So you can do stuff like that. But I would absolutely 1000% never recommend to say no returns at all. With the asterisk, very rare instances on certain items, like if you're selling cell phones for parts or repair, or you're selling jewelry, things like that. But I know that most of my viewers do use clothing and plush, and dabble in hard goods and electronics. Don't turn returns off, because doing that is just inviting item not as described to be opened against you. Buyers will do that. Buyers will lie. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world is. Not every buyer is bad. There's a lot of really great buyers out there that are going to leave you great feedback and come back and buy again. Not everyone is bad, but there are bad people. There are bad buyers in the world, and they are going to open item not as described against you if you say they can't return the item at all. You're going to lower the chances of that happening if you have returns on. Even if you don't do free returns, even if you do buyer paid returns, you're more likely to have someone honestly answer the questions when they go to open the return for doesn't fit, and then it opens it correctly so that they're paying to ship it back to you. There will be buyers who are seasoned and know their way around the system and will lie, but that's going to happen no matter what. And then you can try free returns. The thing with free returns is I would never recommend that on anything that weighs over a pound, and that's just from our personal experiences and our personal preferences and the way we've set up our business. Like all of our jeans are free shipping, but buyer paid return, because I don't want to be $14 in by the time I get a pair of jeans sent and back. And hard goods and stuff that weigh over a pound, that just gets too expensive, I think, personally, and Keith agrees. So any of our items that are first class, that don't weigh much, like t-shirts, ties, t-shirts and ties, I guess, dresses, skirts, things like that, we will put free returns on. And that just encourages folks to open it up for the right reason and be honest and say it didn't fit when they return it, so that we can lower the instances of item not as described for ourselves. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is shipping. If you're charging too much, if you're doing flat rate, and you're charging too much, that can be a huge turnoff to buyers. If you have calculated shipping on, that can be a huge turnoff depending on where it's going. You guys know what I mean. Like, we live in Pittsburgh. If I had a pair of Doc Martens that weighed 4 or 5 pounds and someone in California looks at these Doc Martens, they're looking at $12, $16 shipping. And on something like Doc Martens, they're probably willing to pay that. But if it was like a heavier plush or something and it's got $10 or $12 shipping on it, that could be a huge turnoff to buyers. It's all about the psychology of the game. There's no such thing as free shipping, and there's really no such thing as partial shipping. You're always going to make your buyers pay for the shipping. It's just how you present it to them that makes it more desirable. So if you know that your plush is going to cost $12 to move all the way across the country and say $6 close to you, well, then you want to maybe charge $6 shipping on the plush and then add $6 into the price, and then you're covered. Or you can just add $10 to the price and do free shipping. It's all about how you present it. You want to charge your buyer for the shipping, absolutely. Even if you have free shipping on items, it's not truly free. Build it into your price. But the buyer sees free shipping, and they like that. Buyers absolutely will toggle their search down to where they're just looking at free shipping. I do it when I'm shopping. I know a lot of folks do. A lot of people like free shipping. So when they're shopping, they will definitely make that part of the search criteria. So if you're not offering free shipping, you're not showing up. If you're truly 1000% against free shipping, which I don't think anyone should be, especially on first class items, you can do calculated, or you can just do a flat rate and kind of like split it, what you know the calculated would be, between the flat rate and then adding a little bit more to the price of your item, so your shipping looks a little bit cheaper than other people that are doing calculated, if that makes sense. So if I know some people are going to ask in the comments, all of our first class items are free shipping and free returns. Anything over a pound, we typically do calculated shipping, but we're moving into doing what I just suggested that you guys do, which is to kind of figure out what calculated would be, divide it in half, and charge a flat rate, and then add the rest of the price. I'll be working on that through December on our hard goods. Right now I'm working on our clothing and first class items this month, getting them into clearance and auction and stuff like that. But we do on our first class offer free shipping, absolutely, and on our jeans, most of our jeans. Some of our jeans, I'm trying something new with those, and I flipped it to where I'm charging a flat rate of $8 shipping, drop the price $8, and then I put the $8 flat rate shipping on it, and then I do free returns on them. So kind of trying an experiment there. So you guys can do the same thing. You can kind of flip it. You can just do whatever you can to make your item look more desirable. That's the bottom line. And then number 5, the thing you can do to help boost your sales is take advantage of the promoted and the promotions that you get as tools when you have a store subscription. So you pay for your store subscription, you get tools with it, you might as well use them, you're paying for them. You should absolutely be running sales. You can do buy two, get one free, buy one, get one free, buy one, get one 25% off. The ways you can set up a sale are almost endless. If you go into your promotions and you look, you can set up all kinds of deals like that, where it's buy one, get one for, and you can choose any percent off or free. You can offer shipping. If you charge shipping, you can go in and say if they spend a certain amount of money, they get free shipping. There's those, and then there's the markdown sale, where a lot of you are familiar with this one. You'll see the original price, it has the strike through line, and then it has the sale price. That's the markdown. So that's just like saying everything in your store is 20% off, 25% off. But you should absolutely be taking advantage of that and running sales. I think you should be running sales 24 hours around the clock, the markdown sale. So the buy two, get one, I typically say for items that I throw into our store category clearance hut, and then the rest of the store goes on sale 20% off around the clock, except for the weekends we do 25% off, and we mark our prices up to account for that. And then there's obviously the promoted listings. That's you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have promoted listings on just because everyone else does. So if everyone else is running promoted listings and getting that extra boost and you're not going to show up, and you're just doing yourself and your items a disservice. I would absolutely recommend having them on at least at 1%. I don't think you need to do the trending rate, especially on oversaturated items like clothing and plush and stuff. But you should have them on just so that you're on an even playing field with everyone else, because everyone is using them. So at least have them on at 1%. So before I let you go, because I know I went off on a couple tangents, we'll just recap real quick the 5 things that you can do. 5 easy things you can do to increase your sales on eBay. Number 1, check your pictures. Make sure that you have a nice background and good lighting. Make sure they're in square mode and they're up close so you can see everything. Check your prices. If they're too high, run sales, put your best offers on. If they're too low, raise them up a little bit. Number 3, check your return policies. Make sure that you're not inviting item not as described opened against you. You don't want too many dings because that can affect your top rated seller status. Number 4, check your shipping policies. Play with them a little bit. Maybe charge shipping. If you don't, maybe try free shipping. Just change things up a little bit and you'll definitely see a difference. And then number 5, utilize those promotions and those promoted listings. Run at least 1% promoted listings on everything in your store, and make sure you're running sales. Having the markdown sale, like the 20% off, absolutely does give you a boost in searches, and it increases the desirability of your item, and it creates a sense of urgency with buyers. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, guys. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really helps the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Please join our Facebook group, Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod. The link to join is down in the description box below. Currently, right now, through the end of the year, I am offering store reviews at a very discounted price to our group members. I am not offering them publicly yet, like in the description box or on social media. It's something that's open to our group members. So if you are a group member or you join the group and you want me to take a look at your store and see if there's anything beyond these 5 things that you can maybe fix or work on to increase your sales, I'll be happy to do that. There is a thread on where to buy the discounted review in the group in the announcements. And other than that, you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos across all social media. Until next time, guys, go fix these 5 things. Go be productive. Go make some money. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.